Welcome back to True Story with John Gibson. Today's guest is a mixed martial artist, BJJ competitor, BJJ enthusiast, Stephanie Taylor. Stephanie, thank you for joining me.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm
Good.
very much appreciative. I know you're that you made it today. I know you're so busy. You're one of my favorite people to follow on social media. So
Thank you.
yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for sharing it, for sharing the journey. And it's so funny. I feel like I find myself saying this a lot, like on this show, but I feel like I know a lot of the guests, even though I've never met them before. So, and I attribute a lot of that to just kind of social media, I think.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting to meet people. Like you'll see them out and about, but you only know them through social media and they kind of know you. It's interesting.
It's like the
The
awkward do
world
I
we
wave?
live in.
Like, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to say one thing before I kind of just kind of pepper you with questions to kind of get to know you a little better. Congratulations on your recent victory. You're fresh off. Was it TKO or submission victory? Look, submission.
It was a submission victory, but they considered it a TKO because
Okay.
there was some conflict on whether she tapped or not, but the ref stopped the fight. So,
Right.
but it was an armbar submission victory. Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. Thank you for
Yeah.
clearing it up because for sure you won. Your arm was raised, and I saw some of the footage afterwards, and I saw the tap and all that good stuff. But I just didn't know officially how that went in the record books. But
Yeah. It's
congratulations.
considered a
Awesome.
TKO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to that end, I have just a couple of questions. I do want to kind of pay you a quick compliment too. I'm not sure, I guess it was relevant. That's why I brought that up before, as far as following you on social media. I'm not super sure how long ago I started following you. I think at least a year or so, but for a while now, at least once a week, I'll get women or women probably reaching out, young ladies, and they'll say do you think BJJ is for me? And you're one of the 2 or 3 competitors and stuff. I'll either tag or I'll send them in a DM and I'll be check her out because
Cool.
I like your style, and I feel like you're a good representation, in my opinion, too, because you just feel pretty real, and you're
Yeah.
also yeah, I just feel like you're gritty. I don't know, I like kind of what you're about and what you put out there, and I feel like for women out there who are questioning that and ask me, I don't know, I just kind of direct them to other women because that's a journey I can't really relate to in that way,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I guess I say all that to say maybe, yeah, let's just start there. So when did you find BJJ? How did that start for you?
I guess I'm almost 4 years in now. My brother-in-law is actually a black belt under Zingano in Westminster, Colorado, and he's been asking me to train since I was a teenager, and I was always no, not for me. It's a dude thing, no. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have appreciated BJJ then, anyways. I was just too busy partying and being wild and young. But I ended up 3.5 years ago. My husband actually ended up going because of him as well, and going to try it out. And he ended up enjoying it. And he actually trained for a year or 8 months before I started. And he just asked me to bring my son to a class, and I was like, oh, I'll go watch the kids class. And one of my professors there was every day when I would bring my son is when are you going to start? When are you going to start? You guys you're already here. You might as well stay for class. And so, and I've always been kind of competitive at nature and just enjoyed being a little bit gritty and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Gritty's a great word. Yeah.
so I think I did one class and I was immediately addicted to it. I just enjoyed the competition level of it, the mental level of it, the capacity of the retaining information like that. There's just nothing else like it. And then just being able to apply it into the real world has been really cool too. But basically I started because of that.
That's great. No, I knew, or I thought I was where your husband fought, so I presumed he trained, but I didn't know your kids did, or your son, you said?
Yeah, my
So
son trained.
that's awesome. A family affair. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
So
he's
I
been
mean, for
training since
four
he was 4.
years, you're awesome. Like to be a purple belt and active competitor. When did you know? Because I think that's another important thing, like a differentiator. It's one big step to say I want to train, and that takes a lot of bravery to be like the weakest one in the room and to show back up. But
Yeah.
when did you know you wanted to compete? Because that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, I actually wanted to compete the first time I saw my husband compete.
Oh,
Honestly, I'm competitive with him too. Just kidding. So
okay, cool.
like I was
Yeah,
like, oh, he's getting all the glory of this. Like I just like wanted to get out there and get on the mat and like show that I could do it too, you know?
yeah.
Um, so basically I competed 6 months after I started BJJ.
Wow, you
Yeah,
knew pretty quick. You caught the bug.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
Wow. Well, and one thing I wanted to talk about too, you had posted a picture, and again, I was like, I think this is what compelled me to finally reach out, and I was like, please come on this show, because again, I'd been following you and stuff, but I saw a picture. It was a side by side of you as a white belt, and you were so much heavier, and then like
Mhm.
you now, it's like a true physical transformation. And
Yeah,
can you speak to that? I mean, must have changed your whole life, but physically too, right?
yeah, absolutely. I think like, I was out of shape. I was always like focused on being mom, which I still am focused on being mom, but I kind of like lost, of like sight of like myself. Like, and like, so I gained a bunch of weight. I was like out of shape. And when I started BJJ, like I've always like joined like workout programs or the gym or like, yoga, all that stuff, but I just never stuck with it. It's just like hard. There wasn't like that camaraderie of like BJJ or like that like skill level that you needed. And so like the first time like it was like the first time I started BJJ, like it's the first time in my life that I didn't care about the number on the scale.
Yeah.
I just like I cared about my like physical ability to like actually perform like a
Mhm.
task at hand, and
Yeah,
so
right. Yeah.
I mean, I was very heavy. I definitely was like 80 pounds heavier than I am now. So
Wow.
I
Wow.
yeah, I was like I was compete my first competition I competed at super heavy. And so that was like that definitely like at first I was like I did not want to like admit that I was competing at like super heavy. I was like, oh man, like this like is, embarrassing or, I just like felt like insecure about it. But like when you get
Mhm.
out there with like the girls like at that like competition level and their like skill level and stuff, like no one cares about your weight. No one cares about like what you look like. I don't care what I look like. You're just
Yes.
doing what you need to do to like win. And like once I started like winning or even just like competing in general, like the weight just started coming off because it was just
Mhm.
something I genuinely enjoyed. And then like, you build better habits because you want to be a better competitor and like, like that eating healthy is going to make you, stronger, faster, more
Yeah.
athletic, that like training more often or adding weightlifting and yoga, all that stuff. Like, so it just naturally came off of me, but it was 3.5 years of like work to get 80 pounds off of me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, and I'm glad you said that too. Like you ended it with a, but like real check though. It took 3.5 years for that to happen
yeah,
and transpire. Man, I just love that. Like, what a great, like, kind of, I don't know what a better word to use. Maybe, but testimony, to like that journey. And like, I encourage, I mean, I love jujitsu. It's in my blood since the minute I found it. Like, I was like you, I found it and I was like, how soon can I compete?
yeah,
And I was just the same way. And it just, that's how anyway, so I understand that completely. But just in the beginning, the things that like I forget to tell people, you kind of talked about, like just moving in positions, getting in a full squat or like a
hmm,
lunge position, like things I thought I could do in a yoga class, I really could not do in real life. And
yeah,
just getting to like over time, that made me feel so much better. Like,
yeah,
and those are things about jujitsu I forget to tell people. I'm like, you'll just feel better.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Your
great.
body will hurt at first, but you'll become accustomed to the like pain and all of that. So,
Hmm.
but definitely I feel like a whole new person after
Yeah.
all of that.
So have
Yeah.
you, I mean, I imagine so, but like, since it's a part of your family now, like this is a part of kind of your whole family's culture, but have you found like you have a big like community now, like in this
Oh yeah.
the world? Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the best part is like my gym and like the people we've met and like,
Mhm.
the people that like support you along the way. And like, it's like a whole other family. I mean, like people always joke about how like culty BJJ is, like we're
Yeah,
like some like culty community, but like it really is like, you know, you kind of trade in like friends like that. We're just like there to like, you know, not that I traded in my friends, I still have my close friends, but
sure.
like, you know, you realize that like there's a community of people that like, you know, would do anything for you. Like my
Yes,
professor, like there's no like differentiation between rankings in our gym. Like that's why I love our gym so much. And like
that's
my
cool.
professor, he would like literally drop what he's doing in 5 seconds to like help me, or like if I needed to move out of my house in like a day, he would be here. Like, you know, it's just like stuff like that. And then like they check on you. Like the first time I got a text from like one of my really good girlfriend training partners, and she was like, "Hey, beautiful, I hope you have a great day today." And like I was just like, "That's weird." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then like, why is that weird? Like she's
yeah,
just
yeah,
being nice and checking on me, but
yeah,
I never had friends like that. And so
yeah.
it's like really cool to like realize that like people do like genuinely care about you, and like and we share common interests, all that stuff.
Mhm.
And you know, I think you kind of like it's just interesting to find that as an adult, like a like real friend group like that. So
I
it's been
agree.
great. The community is the best part.
I agree. And
Yeah.
there's something really, and like, like, there's something really special about jujitsu that I found I couldn't find in CrossFit or any of these other things. Like even wrestling. I grew up wrestling and took that as far as I could. And I thought that was super challenging. And I had those friendships and relationships my whole life, but it's not the same as jujitsu. And I think that there's something really intimate about giving your body to somebody and that trust that
Mm-hmm.
that takes. And I
Yeah.
like with a partner and a sparring partner, and even when you're going at it and you want to kill the person, the second that thing dings and you're done and best friends again, it's just a different type of relationship. It
Yeah.
fosters something really special. I'm not sure what the words are, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same as
You
someone.
share like an emotional connection, because like BJJ, like, and doing something like jujitsu and fighting and stuff, it's very emotionally like taking on your like soul almost, like,
Sure.
you know, like it's just even like competing in general, like, you know, losing, it's so heartbreaking, or, you know, like cutting weight is so like exhausting. And like you have those people like next to you during those kind of things where you're
Mhm.
sharing like emotion like that, or like you said, sharing your body, or like, you know, getting into it and like being able to be like, okay, like it was just like our egos, like, you
Mhm.
know, you're able to like leave your ego at the door when you're on the mat. And
Mhm.
then like the best part of is that you like, no matter where the background of the person, like you're sharing that mat with, because you share the skill, like you don't care about their like
Huge.
financial status, like, you know, ethnic background, like whatever it is, you know, it's just like
Yes.
you're just one community, you know.
It made me so much. Thank you for saying that. Like, made me so much more of an open person because of that. And I didn't think I was very close minded. I definitely judged every book by its cover, and I did, for better or worse. And jujitsu changed that in a minute, because
Yeah.
over a month's time, 2 months' time, I was like, my brother, my sister, you
Hmm.
know? Yeah.
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
say another thing. I don't know if like you found this. I don't know if this was like a me thing. I don't know. I would like to ask your husband if I ever meet him too. I'd love to interview him. Um,
Hmm.
but I feel like jujitsu for me, for sure, like helped me foster better relationships with women for sure, because
Yeah.
like it was just healthy. There was nothing weird. There was nothing like we're here for this common thing, and you wanted the betterment of the person, and you would root them on in competition and stuff. And like that was good for me to like mature as a
Yeah.
male, I think. And like that's why I really look forward to my son. He's too young now, but getting into it too earlier, because I wish
Yeah.
I had learned those lessons before I was 35, you know.
Yeah.
I don't, did you, maybe, I don't know, did you find anything similar like that?
Yeah, I think like, you know, some of my best friends are guys in the gym, or, you know, and some of my like biggest fans are like guys in the gym. And, you
Yeah.
know, what's great is like no guy in what I found in my gym alone is like no man in my gym like treats me differently because I'm a girl. Like I'm still there trying to rip their head off as much as like they're
Yeah.
trying to rip mine, you know. And like,
Yeah.
you know, it's just like it's not like, it's just like nice to finally like be in a place where it's like not an ego thing, you know. And it's
Mhm.
like I know that like some men are going to be like better than me, but it's kind of cool to see that I'm actually better than some men, you know.
For
And it's like,
sure.
you
Yeah.
know, it's like actually a skill that you can like apply and like be an equal like I mean, it's not completely equal, like, but I'm just, it's
Yeah.
really nice to like see that like skill can outweigh like strength and like
Yes.
gender and like all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
so it's like, the best part is when like a new wrestler or white belt dude comes in and, I
I
choke
was that
them
guy. I
immediately,
came in with the wrestling background and all the girls lined up and I got my butt kicked. And I was like, what
Yeah.
is happening?
Yeah. And I love it for my son too, because like, his first competition, he went in and got like smashed by like some girl, young girl. And like, but like he just got up and smiled and like,
Mhm.
shook her hand and, he wasn't like, oh, a girl beat me, he's just like, oh, girls are awesome too.
Yeah.
It's not, it's a really cool like sport in that aspect of it.
Yeah. That's so good. So
Yeah.
when did you switch gears just a little? So when did you know that you wanted to cage fight and go the MMA route? Because that's again a whole another level.
Yeah. So cage fighting, I knew I wanted to like probably halfway, like when I got my blue belt, I was like, okay, like I would like to eventually like test my skill, in as close to a live situation as possible. But like I wanted to be like in the best shape. I didn't want to just jump into a cage and like it's a whole nother experience as far as like 100%, And so I
Sure.
wanted to be like the best shape that I could be in. I wanted to be like confident in my skill. So when I got my purple belt and over COVID, I actually got my purple belt at a Fight to Win match in Texas. But I knew like, okay, I really do want to pursue it and actually do one. And I was just like, I'm just going to try it once. And if I like it, like I'll keep going. If not, then, So my first fight was actually January 2021. So this year.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then my second one was just last
I was
or
gonna
this.
say, I think I've seen both then. I've definitely
Yeah.
seen both, which is cool. I'm proud of that. That's cool. I just didn't
Yeah.
realize you were so new to it. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the training, your stand up or kickboxing. What was that like?
Yeah.
Just
I've
adopting
been training Muay Thai since I
Muay
started
Thai.
BJJ.
Okay.
So like we have a Muay Thai class and I've always just joined because it's right before Jiu-Jitsu. So I always have just gone and so I've actually been training stand-up striking for the same amount of time as Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, cool. Wow, perfect.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
I've definitely progressed further in Jiu-Jitsu than I have striking, but I also like definitely really enjoy it. And it's been like an interesting transition. The MMA world is completely different. The training is like when you're training for I'm always in camp basically for a jiu-jitsu competition, it's just like I do jiu-jitsu all the time. That's just 100% of my training. But
yeah, you stay very busy. You're very active.
When you're in camp for MMA, it's the worst. Like
just
you are
down.
like 2 a-days, 3 days, even like morning CrossFit, then jiu-jitsu, then MMA, then hard sparring, you have like multiple like days of like shark tanks and exhausting, like just stuff to get you really, really tired. You're running more. It's a grind.
Yeah.
And you're cutting weight. It's like, the camp is way harder than the fight.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
So I mean, imagine it's been unique getting fights coming out of COVID, but what's the goal? Do you intend to get 5, 6 more? Are you just seeing how they come when they come, or is this something you want to pursue full time?
Yeah, I definitely want to pursue it like until I don't enjoy it anymore. I definitely have fun with it, and like that's something that I always take pride in. I'm not going to do something just to do it. I'm going to do it because I enjoy it. But I've already gotten like 3 offers for fights like this month, next month, August. But like I'm actually taking this summer off and then I'll be back fighting at the end of the year. So I'm planning on 3 to 4 fights a year, not like overdoing it. Okay. Yeah.
Please let me know when you're fighting. So I'm going to, I like support my people. And I want you to know, I mean it. This weekend, I'm going to see Phil Baroni. No, next weekend. And then I'm going to see another former UFC competitors making his boxing debut, Johnny Case. I'm going to go see him in Iowa in July. So I got your back. I will be there.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. That'll be awesome. Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. So, I mean, I guess, that's totally different life. like kind of maybe a silly question, but what happens if your son's like 15, 16? He's like, Mom, Dad, I want to fight. Like he's in a house of fighters. Like, are you going to say, let's do this?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's cool. I
I'm
love
all,
it.
if he says he doesn't want to fight, I'm for that too. I'm just for
Sure.
whatever he wants to do that makes him happy and follow his dreams.
Yeah,
So
it's great.
sometimes he's like, Mom, I don't want to go to jujitsu. I'm like, okay, you don't have to go. So
Sure.
it's just kind of like not something I force on him, but we do with him because it's, I'm hoping he becomes like an amazing jujitsu fighter, but I'm not ever going to pressure him to do something he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask this, like, I mean, you're an intense person, and I mean that in a good way, but like for sure you have to be uber committed to these kind of things. Like the stakes are too high. You're putting your body and health at risk, so you have to be so focused. Like, where's the balance in that? Because this is kind of a family endeavor in a way with your husband and son too. So like, what do you guys do? You like just take like weekends to chill? Do you do like things to just counterbalance that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously train a lot, and what's cool is because we all train together, we just that's part of our life.
Yeah.
It's not something that like my son has created such great relationships at the gym. He goes and like hangs out with friends, our friends' kids. Like it's not like something he finds as like work. So that's kind
Sure.
of like nice to be able to have that. And then obviously we travel a lot, and anytime we're traveling, like for jujitsu, like we've traveled for
Mhm.
jujitsu a lot. Anytime
Yeah.
we're traveling, we make it like a vacation too,
Mhm.
and try to like take our son to do fun things on vacation. And
Yeah.
and then obviously like school weeks are crazy, but
Mhm.
really there's not a ton of time off. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have like one rest day, but
Wow.
yeah.
I don't know how you do that. I mean, again, and I'm sure everybody that's watching this probably already follows you, but for those who may not, please follow her. You're gonna like be inspired by the grind. I swear. She's like constantly going. It's so crazy too because I really let me ask about that a little bit. I know we're coming up on time, but you spoke a little bit about your professors. Were they kind of your most early like BJJ influences? Because your style, like I keep saying gritty because you're aggressive, but you're not like careless. So I guess that's why I say gritty, but like you go for it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Like who inspired that?
Yeah, I would say my professors, like Don Westman, he was a pro MMA fighter. So
Okay.
he's very gritty, and he is like,
Yeah.
he gives me no slack, and he's like, he knows like my potential, and he's always like, get after it. Like, what are you doing? Like, no rest kind of
Yeah.
situation. And then my professor, Sean Stewart, is like the like most amazing technical, like his training as far as like technical ability is just like so crazy. He's like so detail oriented. So like
Mm,
combining those two kind of made me who I am. And so
wow.
like I feel like I have like the best like duo of professors.
Hmm.
And they're like they give me so much of like extra attention. It's crazy. Like, if I ask a question, like they'll stay after and like help me, and and they
Great.
would come in at an earlier time if I needed it. Like they're just amazing. And like they travel with me to compete and coach and all that stuff. Like I was the only one on a fight to win card recently, and my professor came with me. It's just like
Yeah.
I and then I want to perform for them too.
Of
They
course.
put so much work into me. I don't want to like not do my best or not be great.
Yeah, of course. I
So
understand. Yeah, of course. Man,
mhm.
thank you so much. So I guess I always try to ask this. Where can people find you if they do want to have fight offers, take privates, just message you for anything? What's the best places to get a hold of you?
Yeah, I always respond to my like fans and stuff on Instagram. So Rampage BJJ, that's my Instagram. But yeah, I'll always like even check my requested messages. So if I'm not following you, I will for sure respond. So any questions, I'm happy to like answer.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Yeah.
Cool.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate this. Please don't be a stranger. Come back
Yeah.
anytime.
Cool.
And let me know when you fight again for sure. Like we'll share it and support you.
For sure. Thanks, John.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks again.
All
This
right.
is True Story, John Gibson. Today's guest, Stephanie Taylor.